In the ever-evolving world of entertainment, politics, and hidden power struggles, sometimes tragedy becomes the crack through which secrets spill out. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. As always, you being here means the world, and today we are diving into one of the most explosive and chilling stories we've encountered. What if I told you that the mysterious death of beloved actor Yu Menglong is more than just an isolated tragedy? What if behind it lies a massive $2 trillion global power game? One that involves high-profile figures, elite connections, and moves that could reshape the balance of influence not just in Asia, but the world. Buckle up, because this isn't just about entertainment gossip. It's about a labyrinth of money, politics, and shadowy alliances that might have cost Yu Menglong his life. Yu Menglong, known to fans as Alan Yu, wasn't just an actor. He was a rising star whose charm, voice, and versatility had won him millions of admirers across Asia. His untimely and suspicious death on September 11th, 2025, shocked the entire industry. Officially, reports claimed it was the result of a tragic fall, but insiders and investigators have whispered a different story, one that suggests his passing wasn't an accident, but part of a much larger scheme. And the moment you start following the money trail, the dots begin to connect in shocking ways. First, let's look at what's at stake. The figure that keeps appearing in conversations surrounding his death is staggering: $2 trillion. That's not just pocket change, that's the kind of money that can move governments, reshape industries, and topple or protect empires. But where does that number come from? And how does Yu Menglong, a singer and actor, fit into it? The whispers point to a financial web tied to cultural influence, entertainment, political clout, and elite investments. In recent years, we've seen how soft power, through film, television, and music, has become one of the most powerful tools in shaping global perceptions. Behind the glossy screens and glamorous red carpets, entertainment empires are worth billions. But when tied to conglomerates, resource control, real estate, and international finance, the figures explode into the trillions. The suggestion here is that Yu Menglong's death is connected not just to his career, but to a dangerous overlap of entertainment, politics, and money laundering. Viewers, let's slow down for a second, because I want you to really picture this. Imagine a world where your favorite actors and singers are unknowingly, or sometimes knowingly, pulled into games much bigger than themselves. Imagine that contracts, endorsements, and business ties are not just about talent, but about access to markets worth hundreds of billions. Yu Menglong was not just a rising star, but a man who had connections, fans, and visibility. Visibility that might have made him a target when he stumbled too close to secrets hidden in plain sight. Some insiders claim that in the weeks leading to his death, Yu Menglong had become increasingly stressed, paranoid even, confiding to close friends that he felt watched and followed. He had hinted at being pressured into projects linked to powerful individuals, projects that he felt uncomfortable with. And this is where the $2 trillion power game really starts to emerge. At the heart of it are alleged financial dealings involving elites rumored to be connected to political dynasties, powerful corporations, and covert investment networks stretching from Beijing to Dubai, from Singapore to New York. So, what exactly is this $2 trillion game? Analysts suggest it's a sprawling web of assets tied to state-owned enterprises, mega infrastructure projects, entertainment investments, and offshore accounts. Control of this web means control of influence over entire economies, industries, and even political outcomes. If this sounds like a plot ripped out of a spy thriller, that's because the reality is often stranger and more dangerous than fiction. The allegations tie Yu Menglong's last days to figures already under suspicion for corruption, financial fraud, and secret political maneuvers. Now here's the chilling part. Yu Menglong's accidental death coincided almost perfectly with whispers of an ongoing investigation into some of these networks. Leaks suggested that several high-profile arrests were imminent, and some names already being whispered belonged to people rumored to be involved in Yu's career moves. Was his death just a coincidence, or was it a message? Was it a silencing of someone who might have known too much? Think about it, Yu Menglong wasn't a politician, he wasn't a billionaire tycoon. But sometimes it's the innocent who stumble across dangerous truths. An actor with access to private circles, meetings, parties, and personal interactions could overhear or see more than they should. And when you combine this with whispers of his hesitation to sign certain contracts, it becomes clear why speculation is so strong. Fans have poured out their grief online, but among the tears are also questions. Why was the investigation into his death rushed? Why were reports so inconsistent? Why were surveillance footages near the site mysteriously unavailable? Why were several of his last social media posts deleted? And why did his management issue a statement that felt oddly robotic, lacking the warmth one would expect? These gaps are what fuel suspicions that his death wasn't just a random accident, but a cover-up tied to that $2 trillion game. This isn't just a domestic story. Remember, the number $2 trillion suggests international implications. In the global stage, where powerful nations play chess with economies, resources, and culture, every pawn matters. Control over an actor with millions of fans, especially in the age of social media, is control over narratives. And narratives are priceless in politics. The Yu Menglong tragedy could very well be one of the darkest illustrations of how far some players are willing to go to protect their interests. Dear viewers, I want to pause here and acknowledge something important. Talking about these matters isn't easy. These are real lives, real families, and real emotions. Yu Menglong was loved by millions for his artistry, his voice, and his warmth. His death broke hearts, but what makes it even harder is the lingering possibility that his death was tied not to fate, but to greed and power. If true, it means his story isn't just about losing a star, but about exposing how dangerous unchecked power can be. Over the years, we've seen scandals rock the entertainment industry, from financial fraud to political manipulation. But what makes Yu Menglong's case different is the sheer scale of the money involved. $2 trillion isn't just about one industry. It's about the lifeblood of multiple economies. It's about influence stretching into government decisions, into trade agreements, into who rises and who falls. To protect something so vast, the stakes are life and death. Eyewitness accounts suggest Yu's final days were filled with dread. He reportedly tried to distance himself from certain individuals, only to be pressured harder. Some even say he considered leaving the industry altogether, seeking a quieter life abroad. But if he truly knew too much, stepping away might not have been an option. It's like a spider's web. Once caught, it's nearly impossible to escape without consequences. And this is why so many people believe his death wasn't random. The way the narrative was quickly tied up, the lack of deeper investigation, and the timing with ongoing crackdowns all paint a picture of silencing. Silencing not just Yu Menglong, but a warning to anyone else tempted to speak or resist. But here's where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. In the weeks following his death, several high-profile figures were indeed arrested, charged with corruption and financial misconduct. And guess what? At least 2 of them had rumor ties to Yu, whether through investment circles, entertainment production houses, or social connections. Suddenly, the dots don't just connect, they form a chilling pattern. Could you have been a collateral casualty in a game that most of us cannot even fathom? Viewers, I know this is heavy, but it's important. What happened to Yu Menglong isn't just about a beloved actor lost too soon. It's a reminder that in the shadows of fame and fortune, darker games are being played. Games that involve power on scales we can barely imagine. Games where $2 trillion isn't just money. It's control, it's leverage, it's the ability to decide narratives, governments, and futures. And so, as we remember Yu Menglong, we must also question, how many more lives are at risk? How much of what we see on our screens is truly entertainment? And how much of it is a carefully constructed facade, funded and manipulated by unseen hands? When art becomes entangled with politics and money, the price can sometimes be human lives. As you reflect on this, I want to thank you all for being here, for listening, and for caring. Your attention is powerful. Your questions are powerful. And your demand for truth is powerful. The legacy of Yu Menglong shouldn't just be about his tragic end, but also about shining light on what lies beneath the glittering surface of fame. Stay vigilant, stay thoughtful, and keep asking questions. This $2 trillion power game is far from over, and the more we dig, the more the truth fights its way to the surface. Yu Menglong's voice may have been silenced, but ours is not. And as long as we keep speaking, keep remembering, and keep questioning, his story will never be buried.